The Battle of Khaybar, Arabic Ghazwat Khaybar, was an armed confrontation between the early Muslims and the Jewish community of Khaybar in 628 CE. Khaybar, which is located approximately 150 kilometers, 93 miles, to the northwest of Medina, was home to a sizable community of Jewish tribes. The Jews had arrived in Arabia after fleeing from Judea in the wake of the Jewish-Roman Wars. 4-5. Amidst the rise of Islam in the Hejaz, the Muslim community feared that the Jews, who had recently been attacked and expelled from Medina after Muhammad, alleged that they had been plotting to assassinate him and were forging alliances with a number of non-Muslim Arabian tribes. 6. As Muhammad's army began to march on Khaybar, the Banu Ghatafan and other Jewish allied Arabian tribes did not, or could not, send the reinforcements that had been expected to arrive to defend the settlement, further endangering the Jewish army's poor fortifications. After a brief period of fighting, Khaybar fell to the Muslims, and the Jewish knight Marhab ibn al-Harith was killed, reportedly by Ali ibn Abi Talib. The terms of surrender presented to the oasis after the Muslim conquest stipulated the seizure of the Jews' wealth and also called for every Jew to pay tribute, jizya, to the Muslims or emigrate from Khaybar, bolstering the Muslim army in a significant development for Muhammad's military career. In exchange for their acceptance of the terms, the Muslims agreed to cease their campaign against the Jews. Since the late 20th century, Muhammad's conquest of Khaybar's Jewish community has become notable as the subject of an Arabic language rallying slogan, Khaybar, Khaybar, Ya Yahud. In the context of the Arab-Israeli conflict, 8-9 to 10-11, Muhammad's casus belli. Islamic sources accuse the Jews of Khaybar of having plotted to unite with other Jewish tribes from Banu Wadi Qura, Taima, and Fadak, as well as with the Ghatafan, an Arab tribe, to mount an attack on Medina. 12 Scottish historian William M. Watt notes the presence in Khaybar of the Banu Nadir, who were working with neighboring Arab tribes to protect themselves from Medina's Muslim community, who had earlier attacked and exiled Jewish tribes for violating the Charter of Medina. 13, 14, 15. Italian Orientalist Laura Valieri claims other motives for the Muslim offensive might have included the prestige that the engagement would confer upon Muhammad among his followers, as well as the loot which could be used to supplement future campaigns. 16, 17. The battle ended with the surrender of the Khaybar Jews, who were then allowed to continue living in the region on the condition that they would give one half of their produce to the Muslims. The Jews of Khaybar continued to live on the oasis for several more years until they were expelled by the second Rashidun Caliph Umar. 18. The imposition of tribute by the Muslims onto the Jews served as a precedent for provisions in Islamic law, which requires the regular exaction of tribute, known as jizya, from dhimmi non-Muslim subjects living in areas under Muslim rule, as well as the confiscation of land belonging to non-Muslims to merge into the collective property of the Muslim community, Ummah. In the 7th century, Khaybar was inhabited by Jews. The inhabitants had stored in a redoubt at Khaybar a siege engine, swords, lances, shields, and other weaponry. In the past, some scholars attempted to explain the presence of the weapons, suggesting that they were used for settling quarrels among the families of the community. Valieri suggests that it is more logical to assume that the weapons were stored in a depot for future sale. Similarly, the Jews kept 20 bales of cloth and 500 cloaks for sale, and other luxury goods. These commercial activities as a cause of hostility, Valieri argues, are similar to the economic causes behind persecutions in many other countries throughout history. 16. The oasis was divided into 3 regions, Al-Natat, Al-Shik, and Al-Katiba, probably separated by natural divisions, such as the desert, lava drifts, and swamps. Each of these regions contained several fortresses or redoubts, including homes, storehouses, and stables. Each fortress was occupied by a separate family and surrounded by cultivated fields and palm groves. In order to improve their defensive capabilities, the fortresses were raised up on hills or basalt rocks. 16. Ali al-Salabi, Safir Rahman Mubarakpuri, al-Mawardi, and Muhammad Said Ramadan al-Bouti, and other chroniclers counted the overall fortresses in Khaybar, which the Muslim besieged, consisted of around 8 to 13 separated fortresses: 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Al-Bari Fortress, Qutayba Fortress, Al-Qamish Fortress, Al-Kula Fortress, Al-Wathan Fortress, An-Natha Fortress, As-Salalim Fortress, Zubair Fortress, Ash-Shik Fortress, Second Bari Fortress, Naim Fortress, Shab Fortress, Ubay Fortress, Jewish tribe of Banu Nadir. See also Banu Nadir. After they were sent into exile in 625 from Medina by Muslim forces, the Banu Nadir had settled in Khaybar. In 627, the Nadir chief Huyai ibn Akhtab, together with his son, joined the Meccans and Bedouins besieging Medina during the Battle of the Trench. 26. In addition, the Nadir paid Arabian tribes to go to war against the Muslims. Bribing Banu Ghatafan with half of their harvest, Banu Nadir secured 2,000 men and 300 horsemen from the tribe to attack Muhammad. 27-28, and similarly persuaded the Bani Asad. 29. They attempted to get the Banu Sulaim to attack the Muslims, but the tribe gave them only 700 men, since some of its leaders were sympathetic towards Islam. The Bani Amir refused to join them altogether, as they had a pact with Muhammad. 30. Once the battle started, Huyai ibn Akhtab persuaded the Banu Qurayza to go against their covenant with Muhammad and turn against him during the battle. 31. After the defeat of the Confederates in the battle, and Qurayza's subsequent son